Hello, my YouTube family. Welcome to Melda 242. I am Melda, and today I will be preparing for you Bahamian coconut tart. If you want to see how this is prepared, then continue watching. Here are the ingredients that you would need for this tart. Let's begin. Okay, in this bowl I have 2 cups of peeled grated coconuts. Of course, it was done by my husband. Now I'm going to allow this to boil for about 8 to 10 minutes in 2 cups of water. Turn the stove down a bit. Get some water in here. Just 2 cups. 1 cup. Okay, and here is the other cup. There you go. 2 cups of water. That's just the coconut and the water. First check. Now it's bubbling, so it's time for the sugar. Okay. Now I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of this evaporated milk into this container, along with 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, now that is brown, so it's going to change the color of the coconut a bit. Now the sugar. Now this scoop that I'm using is 1/3 cup. So I'm going to add 3 scoops of this into the coconut. 3 scoops. 1/3. Plus another 1/3. Plus another 1/3. So I have 3/3. 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. Math 101. When the denominators are the same, you add the numerators and you keep the denominator. So I'll have 3/3 equals 1 cup. That was a pinch of salt I've just added. 1 cup of sugar and a pinch of salt. Stir that together and allow that to cook. Now to this, I'm going to add the milk and the nutmeg. Yes, I'm going to add this to the coconut and the sugar, salt and water. This is evaporated milk and nutmeg. Now I'm going to allow this to cook for about 8 to 10 minutes also, or until most of the water has dried out. Has to cook. Okay, most of the water is out. Now I'm going to add some flour and a little bit of evaporated milk to thicken it up. Now I know some persons would use the cornstarch and water, but I'm using flour and the evaporated milk. I'm using the old-fashioned way. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. Instead of the water, I'm just using the evaporated milk. About 2 tablespoons of that. So that's 1/2 tablespoon of flour and 2 tablespoons of evaporated milk. Now this is spinning around, this container is spinning around because I'm holding the camera with one hand and spinning and turning this, stirring this with the other hand. So I'm gonna have to set this camera up on the tripod. This is not working. Okay, now I'm adding this to the coconut and sugar. Sugar, coconut, nutmeg, and the salt. Just adding that evaporated milk and the flour to that. Now I'm going to allow this to cook for about 5 to 8 minutes, and then it has to cool. Now I'm preparing this coconut about an hour before I start the crust, because I want it to cool first. Now let's get on with the crust. Homemade crust. I would be using 2 cups of regular white flour. Each scoop is a cup. So that's 2 scoops. I'm just taking this other one out, resting this on the side so I can have some flour handy. Okay, do a little bit of altering. 1 scoop of sugar, that's 1/3 of a cup. Nutmeg, I'm going to be using 1/4 teaspoon of that. Just 1/4. Okay, because you know nutmeg is very strong. Baking powder, 2 teaspoons of this. Baking powder. You want it soft. All right, that's it. Next is a pinch of salt, just a little bit of salt, just a pinch. 2 tablespoons of, I can't believe it's not butter. You can use the regular butter if you wish, but this is what I want. 2 tablespoons of that. Now I'm going to combine this together with the fork until the butter makes little balls in the flour. Then I'd add the fresh milk. The milk is right out of the refrigerator, so it's cold. Mix this together. Now I'm just going to use 1 cup of milk, not all at once. Got to use it in use it only when it's necessary. Okay, now the milk has been added. I'm bringing everything together, because if you put all of the milk in at once, you're gonna have a ball of mess, and you're gonna have to use too much flour, and the dough will be hard. So you have to use the milk when it's necessary. I just added a little bit more flour. Now I'm bringing it home. Just making a ball before I put it on the countertop for kneading. You don't want to knead it too much now. Add a little bit of flour. Notice I'm only using a little at a time. Okay, now I'm using my rolling pin to flatten it out so that I can put it in the baking dish. Okay, that's it. I've sectioned the dough in halves. So 1/2 for the top and 1/2 is for the bottom. That's the palm I'm adding to the pan. Putting some palm in the pan. Okay, the crust is already in the pan. Now I'm going to add the coconut. Look at the texture of the coconut. It's nice and stiff. It's not runny. I allowed it to cook, and I added the flour and the evaporated milk. just a little bit. Once you allow it to cook, this is what the result should be like. Very good. Nice and stiff. It's cold. Always cook the filling ahead of time, because you don't want hot filling in your tart, because it's going to begin cooking the crust ahead of time. And you don't want that. You want everything to be cooked at the same time. I'm just spreading it over the tart, over the crust. Now you can bake it just like that. That'll be an open face tart. But I'm putting a top on it just as I did with the pineapple tart. So I'm adding a top, but the top is just gonna look a little different. I'm gonna be using strips of dough to give me a lattice-like effect for the top. With strips of the dough. Continue watching. Now, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like what you see so far. Share my channel out with family and friends. Remember to hit the bell now so they can see whenever something is new. Whenever I upload something new, they'll be able to see. I'm just using my rolling pin to flatten out the dough for the crust. Like I said, I'll be using strips. To achieve a lattice-like look. Plaiting it like. Okay, the first set is already in. 4, so I'll be using 4 vertically and 4 horizontally. Over, under, just like a plait. Under, over, lift up, under, over, just like that. Simple as that. So I'll be using 3 more I need. I want 4 to the bottom and 4 on the top. I'm just cutting off the excess pieces. You don't want it hanging over. You want everything to look right, uniformed. Nothing hanging. Presentation is important. Just a little bit of flour. Now I need 3 more strips out of this piece of dough. I remember buying this every Saturday from my godmother home on the island. Every Saturday I would save $1 as a child. Get me a slice of coconut tart. Ooh. And to this date, her tart still tastes the same. She has the knack for it. I guess she just makes it with love. Using my little knife. That's a steak knife. Just cutting out the strips. I only need 3 more. just in case we have an extra. Up, down, up, down. That's all you're doing. It's 2 in, 2 more to go. It's 3. Okay, I have a little problem here. I just have to lift up the last one. Just pull it over some. So the last one I just put in, I just have to lift that up. So this strip can fit. I just want it to look right. I just don't want to put it in like that. Let me do it right. So I'm just going to take those up and just slide it over. Scoot it over. I want it to look right for my family. Right. Trim this one down a bit. Now you can make these strips as wide as you want or as narrow as you want. It's up to you. So the narrower you make them, the more you're gonna have to use. The wider, the less. So it's up to you. This is Bahamian coconut tart. It's similar to the pineapple tart. The top just looks a bit different. And one is made with coconut and one is made with pineapple. Almost the same ingredients. You can also do the pineapple this way as well with the topping, the top. Make a lattice effect, or you can just cover it all the way. Pineapple or the coconut. It looks edible now. All right. If you like what you see so far, please subscribe if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up and make sure smash that bell so that every time I put something up new, you would be notified. That's Bahamian coconut tart. Now I'm going to allow it to bake for about 25 to 30 minutes in my preheated oven. The oven is on 325 degrees. Okay, that's after 30 minutes. There you have it. Bahamian coconut tart. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Share this video with family and friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.